Well, hey there. Welcome to the Super Blog Codec with Danny. I'm Danny, and I'm going to be your narrator. This is an audio version of a blog post found over on the SuperPod network. This podcast is fueled by the SuperPod network and way too much coffee. You can find an awesome variety of video game-related podcasts, blogs, and endless quality video game content at superpodnetwork.com. If you like listening to me yap and you've run out of episodes, you can find me on Twitch and on YouTube at DANNI_EL_E. Didn't quite catch that? That's okay. All of the links to the blog I'm going to be reading, my SuperPod profile, and my Twitch can be found in the description. Are you too busy to read? Do you not have time for a full podcast episode? Don't worry, that's what the Superblog Codec is here for. I've gotten permission from the cool human who wrote the original blog post to read their thoughts out loud for you. Today on the Superblog Codec, I'm going to be reading to you RetroMo's blog post titled Kirby Super Star, Sakurai's Magnum Opus. This was posted to the SuperPod network on November 25th of 2024. This is it. This is the one. If you only play one Kirby game in your entire life, it has to be Kirby Super Star, or Kirby and the Forgotten Land if you'd rather opt for a modern title. This was Masahiro Sakurai's best and final mainline Kirby game in which he functioned as game director. He would contribute to a few future Kirby titles in minor roles, but his attention would be shifted primarily towards the Super Smash Bros. Franchise. I consider Kirby Super Star, KSS, to be the pinnacle of the series. The best Kirby games to follow were those that more or less captured the iconic speedy gameplay and feel that was nearly perfected in KSS. Shimomura's follow-ups, Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64, departed significantly, and many KSS fans, including myself, were disappointed. KSS is masterful action platforming on par with other high-caliber SNES platformers like Super Mario World and the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. It just feels good to play. Kirby is quick, responsive, and powerful. It's fun speeding through levels and slashing enemies into little bits. Sakurai and the HAL crew set the bar high in Kirby's Adventure with 25 copy abilities, but they crammed 26 copy abilities into KSS. Plus, many of these copy abilities are much more deeply developed, with complex movesets similar to characters from a fighting game. Instead of just pressing Y to use one attack, many copy abilities have a dash attack, an aerial attack, and an up Y attack, and a down Y attack. Some abilities allow you to charge up Y for a more powerful attack, and some have combo sequences by pressing Y repeatedly near an enemy. There are 5 main game modes, which make up 5 different shorter Kirby adventures. Spring Breeze is an abridged, full-color remake of Kirby's Dream Land. Dynablade contains 4 levels on an overworld map that lead to a final boss encounter. The Great Cave Offensive is a somewhat non-linear treasure hunt for 60 hidden treasures across 4 main areas, each featuring a boss battle. Revenge of Meta Knight is a story-driven mode in which Kirby confronts Meta Knight on the battleship Halberd. Milky Way Wishes is the longest game mode with a neat twist on the copy abilities. Kirby collects copy essences in an inventory that allows him to select that ability at any time. 4 additional game modes add some variety to the gameplay. Gourmet Race is a racing game between Kirby and King Dedede. The arena gives Kirby 1 life and pits him against every boss in the game. Samurai Kirby and Megaton Punch are mini-games that test your reflexes. Visually, Kirby Super Star looks fantastic on the SNES. There's a variety of vibrant environments filled with well-designed enemies and bosses showing off some top-notch sprite animation. The soundtrack is one of my all-time favorites, though nostalgia probably plays a very large role in this. Jun Ishikawa is one of the more underrated SNES composers. During development, Miyamoto gave a tall order to Sakurai and Satoru Iwata, the president of HAL. He wanted them to add co-op to KSS. They created the helper role. If Kirby has a copy ability, he can press a button to create a helper, which can be controlled by AI or by a second player. This helper has the full moveset of that ability and looks like the enemy type that sourced the copy ability. Co-op feels a bit like Little Brother mode, since helper deaths don't count against Kirby's lives, and the screen always follows Kirby. This can be a great introduction for new or younger gamers, but playing as co-op helper can still be enjoyable for more experienced gamers as well. The only criticism I can bring against KSS, and the reason I didn't give it a 10 score, is the shorter length of the game. If you know what you're doing, you can blast through all of KSS in less than 4 hours. The same could be said for a game like Super Mario World, 5 to 6 hours for skilled players, but there's a measure of difficulty and discovery, hidden exits, etc., that is lacking in KSS. That being said, I've probably put in at least 100 hours playing through this game over and over again with friends. Kirby Super Star was another swan song title released late in the SNES lifecycle. There have been some other great Kirby games released after Sakurai's departure from the franchise, but the lofty excellence of KSS will likely forever cement this title as the greatest 2D Kirby platformer. It is my favorite Kirby game, and it easily sits in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Superblog Codec. If you want to interact with the show and let me know what you think of this podcast, you can find me on the Superpod website at superpodnetwork.com. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to find more ways to follow Superpod content. Catch you next time, and make sure you're taking care of yourself, friend. Thanks for listening.